Welcome, everyone. Today we are jumping right into a really fun explainer looking at a beautiful story called The Turtle Who Flew, a magical kid's story. We're going to meet a very special friend and learn an amazing lesson along the way, so let's dive right in. Okay, I want you to imagine if a turtle could actually fly. Seriously, think about it. Have you ever wished for a superpower of your very own? Maybe, wishing you could turn invisible or run literally as fast as a cheetah. Well, our friend in the story had a really big wish just like that. Section 1. Meet Timo the turtle. Deep in a beautiful, peaceful forest lived a little turtle named Timo. It was a wonderful place to live, but Timo actually spent a lot of his time just looking up. He absolutely loved watching the birds fly high in the bright blue sky, just gliding effortlessly on the wind. But watching those birds kind of made poor Timo feel a little bit down. He'd sigh and say, "Oh, how wonderful it must be to fly. I wish I had wings like the birds." He would look down at his short little legs and his heavy hard shell, and he just felt sad because he couldn't do what those birds could do. You see, turtles are built differently. They have heavy shells, short legs, and they stay safely on the ground. But birds, they have light feathers, big wings, and fly way up high in the air. Timo just thought the birds had it so much better than he did. Section 2. The Magical Wish. One day, this bright, colorful parrot landed on a branch right near Timo, and this parrot had actually heard Timo's wish. Guess what? He held out this beautiful, glowing, magical feather and offered it to Timo. The parrot was a little curious, though. Before handing over the feather, he asked, "Why do you want to fly?" Timo thought about it for a second, and he gave a very honest answer. "So everyone will think I'm special," he replied. He just really wanted to be seen and admired, exactly like those birds. Well, the parrot told Timo that this glowing feather could grant just one single wish. You can imagine how Timo's eyes sparkled with excitement. That night, when the whole forest was quiet and dark, Timo held the magical feather as tightly as he could in his little claws, squeezed his eyes shut, and made his big wish. He said, "I wish I could fly." And then, magic! First, a bright golden light completely filled the dark forest. Second, right there on Timo's heavy shell, beautiful shimmering wings just magically appeared. And third, as he flapped them with all his might, Timo slowly lifted right up into the air. "I can fly! I can fly!" he shouted with pure joy. It actually worked. Timo soared high above the sparkling rivers, over the tall green forests, and even up near the Rocky Mountains. He felt happier than he had ever felt in his entire life, and all the animals down below just looked up at the flying turtle in absolute amazement. But then, Section 3, caught in the storm. Suddenly, the beautiful blue sky was completely covered by thick, dark clouds. The air grew super cold, and strong, fierce winds began to howl and blow through the mountains. The wind was just way too strong. Timo struggled and struggled to control his new wings, but, well, he wasn't used to flying in a storm at all. The heavy wind carried our little turtle friend far, far away until he finally landed, all alone, on a steep, rocky mountain. His magical wings were tired, weak, and honestly, practically useless in that wild storm. Section 4. A Brave Rescue. Over the howling sound of the wind, Timo heard a tiny, scared sound nearby. He listened really closely. It was crying. He carefully looked around the mountain and discovered a tiny baby bird that had been blown right out of its nest by the storm. But there was a terrifying problem. The baby bird's nest was trapped deep between some heavy, jagged rocks. Timo tried to use his new magical wings to fly down into the gap and reach the nest safely, but his wings were just too big and clumsy for the tight space. The wings he wanted so badly weren't helping him at all. So Timo realized his wings wouldn't work. What did he do? Well, first he marched right up to that gap. Second, he used his very own strong, heavy turtle shell to push and move those heavy rocks right out of the way. Third, he used his clever turtle thinking to navigate the tight space. And fourth, he safely guided that little baby bird right back into its home. He didn't use magic, he used his own natural turtle traits. Section 5. The Big Lesson. Soon after, the baby bird's mother flew down with a mother's thanks. She was so incredibly relieved and happy to see her baby safe and sound. She looked right at Timo, her heart completely full of gratitude. The mother bird gently said something Timo would literally never forget. "You didn't save my child because you could fly. You saved him because you are brave and kind." Hearing those warm words, a light bulb just went off in Timo's head. He finally understood. This brings us to a very big, special word: unique. Being unique means having your own special gifts and being wonderful exactly as you are inside. Timo realized that being special wasn't about having magical wings or trying to be like someone else. It was about his strong shell, his clever mind, and his very brave heart. Then, something sparkly caught Timo's eye. The glowing, magical feather appeared right in front of him once again. The magic was giving him a choice. He could keep his beautiful wings forever if he wanted to. So, what do you think Timo decided to do? Did he choose to keep them? Well, Timo made his choice. He looked at the feather, smiled, and gently shook his head no. Instantly, the magical wings completely disappeared. Timo returned back to his peaceful forest as a totally normal, everyday turtle. But he wasn't sad anymore, not at all. He was immensely proud of exactly who he was, and he knew he had his very own special way of helping others. And that brings us to the moral of our explainer today. You don't need to be someone else to be special. You have your very own unique strengths, just like Timo. So the next time you wish for a superpower, remember to look at all the amazing things you can already do. It really makes you wonder, have you discovered your unique superpower yet?
Like, share, and subscribe for more videos.